What's up, everybody? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, December 22nd, 2018. Thank you, everybody who's coming by. If you're going to be here live, thank you in advance. If you're a replay viewer, as always, it takes a few minutes for these live streams to get going. So please feel free to see the comments below. There should be a pinned comment where technical analysis starts. And you can go right there and you can kind of jump right into the chart. So you don't have to wait for me as I wait for everybody else to kind of come in here. So speaking of, we've got some people, Perosi, Tech Lord, Sherry, Zach, what's up? Zach thinks I'm the guy from Shameless, as do many people. Many people do. Here's the problem. I'm struggling with this right now. So these glasses, right? They take away the blue from the screens. I love them. However, I feel like I can't do videos with them because the lights are reflecting and it just looks ridiculous. So I think I'll just skip them. But maybe I can find some that don't reflect so badly because I really like wearing them. It helps with the screen, takes away that blue. So how's everybody doing? I appreciate everybody coming by. It's a weird time. 5:24 Eastern on Saturday. Had a long day. Me and Sarah were out and about trying to find a house, looking for a house. Just having an exciting, good Saturday. I feel blessed. I feel good today. So in this video, there's a lot to talk about, right? There's definitely lots to talk about with the charts right now. And I try to organize some notes so that we can get through it. But there's so many areas to be watching for and important areas. So before I do, I did want to go over a couple things, namely Bitcoin, Google Trends. What's it doing? Because remember, I don't know if you can see my cursor. You remember we had this little uptrend towards the beginning of November, right? We had that little uptrend, and now we're seeing some consolidation. I'm not trying to joke around too much, but it is true. That's kind of what's happening in terms of Google Trend. This is a really important chart to look at. It's an extremely important chart to look at. And I wish they do have past. They have one you can do custom, but here's the past 5 years. I wish I could do past 2 years. It would be a little better. But last 5 years, it's an important chart to watch because you're going to get an idea of sentiment again, right? Everybody waiting for the bulls to come in. Everybody waiting for Bitcoin price to take off. You're going to get a clear picture of when that begins happening, similar to, in that spring coming out of winter of 2017 into spring. I remember vividly, right? The chatter was beginning. The whispers of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin were beginning. And so you're going to get something similar, in my opinion, with that. So you see this first little increase, right? This first little increase with Bitcoin in Google Trends. It's a first hint. It could be the taste of the beginning, right? Could be like right in this little area, the little taste of Bitcoin maybe waking up. So we're gonna be watching that every once in a while. Not every day, but every once in a while, we're certainly going to be looking at that. Want to throw this out there: Bitcoin Lightning Network to breach 500 Bitcoin network capacity. It's growing, everybody. It's growing. Rui Gomes, a developer, Gomez or Gomes? I'm thinking Gomez. A developer at Tim Draper-backed OpenNode recently took to Twitter to exclaim that the Lightning Network, an off-chain system that facilitates instant, low-cost, scalable Bitcoin transaction, has grown at a staggering pace. Staggering pace. It's growing. Look at it on the chart right here. More specifically, Gomez, whose brainchild is a preeminent Lightning app, LApp, revealed that the network will facilitate 500 Bitcoin in a few days' time. And here's the tweet. He says, the Lightning Network just hit 500 Bitcoin in network capacity. The network keeps growing at a staggering pace. Start running your own node in open channels while on-chain fees are low before the next bull market. Enjoy private Bitcoin transactions settled instantly. I can't believe I haven't taken the time to do this. And I feel like there's a lot of people in the space that also haven't taken the time to do this, right? And I think it's a good idea to do it. I want to make sure that sometimes when the chat just stops, I get a little nervous because like I don't see any new chats coming, and usually it's always going. So I'm gonna pause here as I make sure that the chat is still going. I hope that's okay, because I don't want to be talking to nobody. Randall McMurphy says, "Don't get nervous." I'm nervous. I'm nervous that my live stream is not working. So anyway, exciting stuff, man. Bitcoin Lightning Network growing. Like this is, and what's really cool about this is we're in a bear market, right? And that is probably the best time for things like this to be happening. It's the best time. This is what we said going into this bear market when things were getting bad. We were anticipating, everybody was anticipating this could be a long-term bear market. Like this could, at first we were hoping it's just a quick correction. Then we started talking about bear markets, and most people that have been in the space for a while especially said, keep an eye out for people bailing. Keep an eye out for people bailing. Because not only are people going to be bailing, but the builders are going to be building, and keep an eye out for the builders. And so you see that happening now. And so it's exciting to see Lightning Network growing the way it's growing. And that's part of the building process, right? Rui, I mean, look, I didn't even plan this, but look at his Twitter, building experiences on top of Lightning Network. And there it is. He's a builder. Go follow him. He's got 2,000 followers, and he's a builder. He's one to follow. He's one to learn from, I'm sure. Definitely. So, Ben says, "Let me connect you with a good realtor in Philly." Appreciate it, Ben. I think we got our house today. I think we're going to be getting it. I'm not sure. It's not final, but it'll take 6 months to build. So, appreciate that. Why Bitcoin's bear market may be over and what you can expect next. So, I'm not going to go through this. This is a long article, but I have a couple points I want to take for context to the technical analysis start of the video. So, I'll probably do the timestamp here for replay viewers. So if we look back on long-term chart of Bitcoin's price action, we see that Bitcoin has gone through three major upwaves. The first one took Bitcoin's price from $2 to $200, or about 10,000%. The second wave took the price up from about $50 to roughly $1,200, approximately 2,300%. And the third wave brought Bitcoin's price from $200 all the way to over 19,500, or nearly 10,000%. Everybody knows that. So signs of a bottom, right? This is like the biggest talking point in crypto right now. The bottom. When is the bottom? And the clash between people that think we're going lower and people that think we found the bottom is incredible. I think we're forming the bottom. I think we found the bottom range, right? I can say that, the bottom range. So that's what we're going to look at in this video. We're going to look at the top kind of side of that range and the bottom side of that range, right? That volatility that Bitcoin might have in this bottom range, even if it lasts for months. I know Tech Lords, I think he's still here. He's one that thinks, 3 weeks from now, we're in a bull market. And that's cool. A lot of people think that. But if we are in this bottom range, what do the technicals say? Like, how can this look? How can the movement look? And I tell you one thing, it looks volatile. It does. So be ready. Be ready for volatility, nonetheless. Signs of a bottom. The cryptocurrency market has been in severe panic mode lately, a phenomenon typically observed at or very near to significant market bottoms. While Bitcoin has declined by 84%, the entire cryptocurrency complex crashed by nearly 88% from a peak of about $828 billion to just $100 billion in recent days. Additionally, many major coins gave up more than 90% of their value during this savage decline. That's true. Let me click. I guess I should. Yeah, I think that's actually it. I think that's all I wanted to read. Yeah, I love articles like this that have a little paragraph and then you have to go to the next page so they can reload ads. at our inconvenience. It's great. It's a great way to make money, guys. Thanks. So we can close out of that. But yeah, the bottom, I think it's in. I think the bottom range is in. That doesn't mean we won't see some crazy volatility. I'm talking about 30% volatility, 40% volatility on the upside, on the downside. We'll be going for a ride. We'll be going for a ride. I'm pretty sure of it. So I tweeted this I tweeted this morning. Still not convinced of this downward break, right? We broke through this wedge that we were tracking. And I said, well, I'm not convinced. Could be false breakout, mainly considering that we're at key Fibonacci retracement area, and video later today, which is the video now. We're going to talk about that. So we talked about this wedge that you see on the screen, and we talked about, and I'm going to go to the chart now. So here, let's go to the 4 hour for this part of the video. We talked about this wedge that has formed on the screen. We obviously broke through the bottom of the wedge, right? That's one thing that has happened. But with that comes that next area of support. And, we can have the talking point of, all right, well, we should revisit the top of the wedge. Let's see us do that. But part of that story is the Fibonacci yet again. In these wedges, Fibonacci retracements help us in really that final decision. If you think we're about to enter a bull run, right, or a higher rally, the Fibonacci retracement is used, by me at least, I think by a lot of other people. It's used to make that final decision, right? Make that final decision of, okay, I think I can enter. So what I mean by this, to play that into this storyline, is this. The Fibonacci plays into that decision of, I'm going to enter because I think we're going higher. By basically, we want to take this previous swing low to that swing high that we topped out at, okay? Obvious resistance at the 200 EMA on the 4 hour chart, this pink line. Obvious resistance. Now, what would have been nice is if we got some quick support right here at this trend line. It didn't happen. But that's okay because we have a more firm, strong, solid layer of support lying within the 618 to 786 channel. And you can see for over a day, 1, 2, 3, 4, like over a day, we've been trading literally pretty much within that channel, the 618 to the 786. So it has so far acted as support, and that's a good sign because when we break a Fibonacci retracement, right, on the downside or the upside, it really speaks to the bearishness of the situation or the bullishness of the situation, right? So at this point, we're holding at the Fibonacci channel that we talk about so often. So we're at the Fibonacci channel, and what we're looking for now, and I'm going to go to the daily to start really speaking to what's going on. Actually, let's start real quick on the weekly to get you that nice little beautiful overview picture. Bottom range, last bear market. You see it on the screen. You see the bottom range on the screen. I'm just making sure you can see it. Sometimes my chart is off the screen and I rewatch the video. I'm like, you're an idiot, dude. And so you see the bottom range in the last bear market. I do believe we've entered this bottom range in this bear market. The swings, the volatility, the stress of it all, the craziness of it all, the unknown of it all, that's there. So get ready for it. And we're going to have to take it day by day, but we've taken this whole bear market day by day. I'm not even worried about it. I think the hardest part is over, right? The hardest part was hitting those all-time highs and just kind of waving goodbye until next time, right? It's like, that's tough. That's the hardest part. Now we're in that bottom forming area. That now we're starting to see the light, even if it won't come for 5 months. We're starting to see the light. So that's the weekly. So over on the daily, we have a couple things that I'm just tracking, right? It plays into the story. Number one, Fibonacci retracement coinciding with a potential inverse head and shoulders. And I had a comment on one of my tweets yesterday, somebody bringing up this as well. And I'm happy he did because I'm not sure I actually would have even started covering this on these videos. So Fibonacci retracement coinciding with inverse head and shoulders. See swing low to swing high. Fibonacci plays into a pullback on stock RSI. What the heck does that mean? I'm going to show you. So let's get our Fibonacci. So now we're on like a longer term Fibonacci, not like in this shorter term wedge Fibonacci. So previous swing low to the most previous swing high, right? Here's our channel. And I'm going to get like a little rectangular box to paint that Fibonacci 618786 channel. So we put it there. Now, what this means, what I'm saying here, we take that very important Fibonacci channel in technical analysis in this trading that Bitcoin is in, right? In this anticipation of coming back down. A lot of people do think we're going to come back down. And we're going to play it into a potential bullish scenario, which is to say we get a pullback right now to this very key Fibonacci retracement, 618 to 786. We get a pullback into that area. What you're going to see is, and I'll get my brush. What you'll see form, if we see support there, is this. You'll see here's the left shoulder. Here is the head. If we get this pullback, right? If we fail to break up from here, and we see support in this area, in the Fibonacci support area, and we get a bounce, you're going to see a potential inverse head and shoulders forming. So there could be a really bullish, pattern, bullish move right around the corner for Bitcoin, but it might require some further downside, 10 to 12% on the downside. If that happens, we can track this. We can see if we see bullish support at this fib level, and if we do see fib support, we can start talking about a potential inverse head and shoulders really setting up, like realistically. And then within that, we can start talking about this pretty important area in terms of this neckline, this white line. You see this white line up here, this neckline at around $4,200. Also at that time, this 50 EMA will come down by then. If we come down to around 3,400, this blue line, the 50 EMA, will also probably come down. So there's going to be a lot of confluence of further resistance here to break through. That's a story that might happen in week, 2 weeks if it plays out that way. So that's the first thing. It's the first thing that we can anticipate in a longer term format. Number two, we have short term, and this is probably what maybe you're more interested in. Just this short-term fib retracement. Russell says we are no way near the bottom. And that's completely understandable. I know there's so many people out there that do not think we're near the bottom. I just want to throw that out there, interject to that comment. I believe we're in the bottom channel, right? I do. So let's go over the 4 hour. So 4 hour short-term fib retracement. We just kind of talked about this. This plays into a possible continued uptrend. This doesn't mean we're exiting completely out of the bear market. It doesn't mean we're exiting completely out of this bottom channel. We're talking short-term, continued, uptrend that you see on the screen. So what does that look like? We kind of just went over it. Swing low, swing high, Fibonacci channel, 618 to 786. We're there. We're really trading with really above it and within it. We're seeing support there. If we get a bounce, what do we have ahead of us? We have a lot of different things ahead of us. And that's why I have biggest area of resistance. So we have the revisit to this trend line, this lower trend line. You see right there, we have a revisit to that. We have this 200 EMA, which for Bitcoin on the 4 hour, this 200 EMA is an incredibly crucial area of resistance, right? It's like the bully that just keeps kicking you when you're down, right? Bitcoin throughout this entire bear market has lost to the 200 EMA. Yeah, sometimes it broke above, even got some little quick 50 EMA crosses above the 200 EMA. But for the most part, this pink 200 EMA has destroyed Bitcoin throughout this bear market. So it's a really, really important area to watch anytime we're actually approaching it. So now that we're approaching it, we're looking for this bounce off of this Fibonacci pullback. So swing low to swing high, back down. Here's our channel, 786, 618, or 618 to 786 channel of support, supports. We bounce off of it. So we have this trend line of resistance, and we have this 200 EMA of resistance. So, this area right now is right around $4,000. So if we start seeing Bitcoin move, I don't know if it's when I end this live stream, I don't know if it's tomorrow. If we start seeing a little gain in Bitcoin, we're very close. We're very, very close right now to really some big resistance. So we're talking 4 to 6% away from these resistance areas. Now, if Bitcoin breaks that, it's actually a really, really bullish move for Bitcoin. And it's a signal that this trend will most likely continue. This uptrend will most likely continue. And so that doesn't mean if we break through the resistance area, you should enter a long position. I don't want to give financial advice, but I just want to let you know my approach would certainly be not entering a long position until we not only break the resistance area that you see here, right? I'm not going to FOMO in if we get 6% gains and break through this. I want to see what happens within this wedge, back within this wedge. I ultimately want to see a breakout above this wedge. And I want to see support at the top of the wedge. I want to see like a short to midterm, rally for Bitcoin. So that's kind of what Tech Lords, thanks for being here, dude. I appreciate it. And I hope you have an amazing day, my friend. Have an amazing day or night. It's probably night. So, just because we break this area of support, resistance, I'm not 100% convinced of anything until we start breaking previous higher highs that we had within this wedge. Very important. So wanted to throw that out there. Now, I guess the question is this, going back to the daily, we're talking about upside right now, right? And we can zoom out first off. Let's zoom out a little to get a kind of a more clear picture. And let's draw a line. I want to draw a line at 5,000. Actually, I'm going to draw a box. So for months, even before we entered into this area, for months, we've talked about, 5,000 to 3,000, 5,500 to 3,500, that bottom range. That's anywhere in here for me. I said months before we even entered here. Anywhere in here for me is accumulation, is a great area to accumulate. Now, as you know, I like and I enjoy accumulating instead of accumulate. All right, here, good buy area, right? Since it's in my buy range, accumulate. I like buying in this range, at the bottom of the range, not at the top of the range. And that's my goal within where Bitcoin is trading right now. My goal is to buy the dips. Most often, I'd never tell you when I'm buying. I never tell you when I'm accumulating Bitcoin, but I assure you it's on red days, right? It's not often when I'll buy, when I'll accumulate and I'll just decide to buy more when we're up 12%. It used to be. I used to be such a FOMO investor. Not even just, we're talking in real estate and anything. I get in when the market's hot and I buy, right? And no. Now I buy when the days are red, when people are scared. So, the scariest place in terms of, if you zoom out on this chart, is obviously the bottom of this channel, because many people think we're going lower than the bottom of this channel. So 2 things. Number 1, I want to buy right here because there's way more of this. There's way more fear. And my live stream froze on my screen. So can you just, press 1 if you can still see me and hear me, please? Before I continue, I just wanted to make sure everybody's still here. I don't know why this YouTube just has been doing this to me lately. I don't even know what to do. It looks like it's working. Okay. Thank you, everybody. So I want to buy down here. I want to buy the dips. I want to buy fear. And that's what I do. So I am, we're doing some short-term analysis here, but I just want to let you know, I am also tracking the downside. I'm anticipating here. I'm anticipating this. It's totally in play. $3,000. 100% in play, especially if this shorter term move that we're just talking about on the 4-hour chart, right? This 4-hour move, potential support where we are right now, this short term Fibonacci, if this fails, right? If that fails, we don't get a bounce, then this is going lower, right? This is most likely going lower into this range. And so into this range, we have this broadening wedge type of pattern. We have this broadening falling wedge, right? So we have a touch, we have a touch, we have a touch, we have a touch, and then a third touch would really be the formation, the continuation of this pattern. Because right now it's 2 and 2. You really need 3 touches and 2 touches for it to be a true wedge. And so I don't feel so confident to call this a touch. You could, but I don't. I'd feel way more confident right here with a touch to the downside. Now this is sub from where we are, just to let you know, this right here is sub 3,000. So that's where I'll be buying. That's where I'll be really heavily accumulating. I'm not heavily accumulating right now. I just want to let everybody know that I'm not heavily accumulating right now. I am anticipating further downside if it happens. This video, I wanted to throw that out there. This is what the further downside looks like. We could get a final touch, $2,800. In my opinion, that could really, truly be, it could be here. It could be mid-January. And we could capitulate down to $2,700, right? It could be the end of January, $2,600. And so if that happens, for me, that would be an incredible buy zone, first off, for accumulation. And for me, would truly, 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 I think, define the bottom channel. Could the bottom channel be what you see on the screen right here, this blue rectangle? Heck yeah, it could. I truly think it could be. But we have so much going on right now that we're tracking. And on the daily chart and the long chart, to keep it really simple, if anybody just got in here, the 2 longer term patterns really to look out for are this broadening wedge that we have on the screen, looking out for a third touch. If we get a confirmed third touch and we fall down to that level and we get a bounce and we start breaking above these previous lows, right? 3,100. We get a bounce right here where there still will be continued fear, which you see on the screen, it says fear. Right here, a bounce off of that third touch, for me, this is not financial advice, is an entry. That's when I would enter. That's when I would enter. I wouldn't try and catch the bottom. I'd wait for it to bounce off of a new lower low, and I'd wait for it to break a previous area that might act as resistance, and then I'd enter. I'd accumulate. That's how I accumulate right there. Now, on the flip side, in a bullish scenario, that's the bearish scenario for all you people that think Bitcoin's going down further or want it to go down more. Crypto Moon Boys, thanks for the financial advice. This is not financial advice. Come on. So on the flip side to that, we're also tracking, and this is on the longer term, right? This isn't the 4-hour where we track that wedge. This is on the longer term. We're tracking this potential inverse head and shoulders in formation with right now, we're literally maybe forming a right shoulder. This is a key Fibonacci channel right here. It's a 618 to 786 from this swing low, swing high, boom. A bounce off of that support area could form the right shoulder for a bullish run, right? With a breakout above the 5,000 area. You can see a breakout area for that inverse head and shoulders is 5,800. We could be on the path to $5,800 right now. And those are some nice gains. So on the downside, on the upside, I'd laid it out for you. That's what will form. That is what will form. Most likely one of those two things. Now the key is to analyze your portfolio, analyze your finances, analyze your mind, your life, your risk tolerance, and just make your decision. And don't let anybody tell you what to do. Don't let anybody influence your decision. Do what you feel comfortable with. And I think it'll be okay. I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. I honestly think at the end of the day, that's what the charts look like. And if you're long on Bitcoin, it really doesn't matter that much, does it? if you're long on Bitcoin. There's the charts. I think we're in it to win it. If you're in it, I think you're in it to win it. Just for context, I'm curious. I didn't really do this earlier. I do want to measure. This screen is completely toast. But I do want to measure the inverse head and shoulders breakout to 5,800 and what type of price that would, or price range that would give us. So if we tested Fibonacci and we went up from, we're talking 3,400-ish to 5,800, we're talking about 78% gains. I want to say something. This is important. Poseidon Lou, dude, I meant to text you today. I meant to text you. I did not know. Well, I found out late. It was your birthday yesterday, dude. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. No, I'm not going to sing. Poseidon Lou, appreciate you, man. I'm sorry I didn't text you, but happy birthday. Everybody give Poseidon Lou a happy birthday. We should be sending him a super chat, and he's here sending me a super chat. Come on. Dude, you're the man. Appreciate you. I really do. Can't wait to have you in the fam out here in PA. Can't wait, man. It's going to be good times. So, I almost forgot to throw this out there. If we get a bullish run, if we get this beautiful inverse head and shoulders, which you see on the screen, with the breakout being the length of that head to the neckline, right? So this right here, that's the length, that's the height. 70% gains. If we see 70% gains, I want to throw this out there. There is a huge possibility for Bitcoin to once again make its way down to these areas in this, what we are calling, bottom channel. It's so very likely and possible. We're talking like really, I don't want to say more likely, but it's very likely. And while we're saying that, and before we do, we have a stinking $100 super chat from Luff. Hey, did you read about StakeNet's collaboration with LTC on the Lightning Network the other day? So I think he put... So we did, and we just covered that actually in the last video. First off, thank you so much for the super chat. That was so unnecessary, man. Totally means a lot. But he's saying, did you read about it the other day on the Lightning Network collaboration? We did, and we talked about it a little bit on I think it was a Litecoin live stream a couple days ago. So they collabed with X9, and actually, you're speaking of that, and I actually even have, I think, I'm trying to pull it up. It's not working. So I had the email. They emailed me about the collaboration to let me know, but the Litecoin Foundation has formalized a collaboration with X9 developers in the maintenance, debugging, hardening of LTCD and potentially other Lightning Network technologies. X9 developers are blockchain agnostic dev team whose founders are the core developers and fully funded by StakeNet. StakeNet's overall vision to build an interoperable cross-chain future built on the Lightning Network. Both parties' incentives are aligned to work together. This is going to be a huge step. Huge step. Thanks again, Luff Basson. Like that was I'm at a loss for words, man. Usually I walk off the screen, but you took me by such surprise. So this is also going to be a big step for, the user experience within the Lightning Network. And this is what I'm talking about, man. The builders building so much. The builders are building, and you see these advancements little by little. These things take time. They do. I'm working with these crypto startups, and I'm watching them, and I'm helping them build their teams. And they literally need the best of the best in terms of engineers, in terms of product leaders, in terms of front end, that user experience. They need the best of the best, and they're doing it now. They're building it now. I guarantee you within the next 2 years, you're going to see a massive shift in the UI, the UX, of the crypto space. And that's going to play and tie right into the Lightning Network and what the Lightning Network is doing. So that's that, dude. Thank you so much again for the super chat. I really do. That means so much to me. It really does. So, I forget where I was on the charts when that came in, but I think we were talking about how if we get this inverse head and shoulders that we're tracking on the daily chart, excuse my messy screen for a second, but the inverse head and shoulders is simply the height of this head to the neckline right there. We get the shoulder come down, we get a break above the neckline. The target is $5,800. So what I'm saying is we hit that target. It's completely possible for us to basically come right back down into this channel, test $3,000 again. It's completely possible. Dan, you were talking about the moon. That's true. We were talking about a short-term moon to $5,800. So I want to give you an example. So back here off this bottom, you can see this bottom bounce up to these nice little this nice little run that Bitcoin had out of the bear market, right? Everybody was probably like, yes, 70% gains, 80% gains, everybody, from the bottom, right? If you didn't buy at $200, you missed out. You should have bought the bottom. You're an idiot. We're going to the moon, right? And then here's what happened to those people. They still had 34 weeks until they exited the bear market, meaning the bear market resumed for 34 weeks. So it plays perfectly into the storyline because this reverse head and shoulders would take us to 70% gains, most likely. So back here we have 78% gains, and then what happened? Pretty simple. We came back down. And that's not the right one. That's not the price range. Come on. Price range. We came right back down another 28%. We saw some nice support at the 200 EMA on the weekly. That's a very good sign, right? So some hopeful people. But then we got another swing from that bounce. 50% gains, right? I'm just trying to paint a picture here. And then from that, we saw new lows, 38% losses. Could you imagine the emotion going on when this was happening? Could you imagine, man? So all I'm saying is be prepared for something similar as we scroll over to where we are now. I could see something similar. So, we're talking 3,400, 70% gains, right? Reverse head and shoulders comes to fruition. We break the 200 EMA on the weekly. Oh man, everybody's bullish, right? And then we're right back down. And maybe this time we'll test the 200 EMA again and see support, right? Support at $4,000. But we're talking about a lot of volatility in that happening. And so if that happens, trade around, similar, maybe another one up, another one down. Listen, Bitcoin has so fluently, so harmoniously played out similar to the last bear market. It continues to do so. So you have to chart this stuff. You can't ignore this. You can't. Especially when you have all these other indicators playing right into the story of these potential moves, these potential synergistic moves. You cannot ignore it, right? Right now, we have all of this confluence around the 200 EMA on the weekly. We have the harmony of the RSI on the weekly. I mean, just look at this. Look at this area right here, back here in the bear market. Boom, right? A bounce almost identical where we're getting a bounce now. Right? But we saw a lot of volatility in this RSI back then. Right? Look at that volatility. Up, all the way back down, finally out. This was the exit. Here was the exit of the bear market. That's what that looks like on the RSI on a weekly. We have a ways to go. I can almost assure you we're not going to do this. Right? We're not going to be out of the bear market that quickly. If it happens, I will be extremely surprised and I'll say, hey, I was wrong. There's a first. But it's most likely going to be some volatility involved in this story. Retesting the oversold area, maybe slowly working its way back up. But we'll get there. We'll get there, but it might take a little bit of time. So that's the technical analysis for today. 40 minutes, I think that's good. But check out the charts. They just look so pretty. It's my favorite, the weekly zoomed out. I'm trying to clean up my charts. Look at the weekly on the stock RSI even. The MACD, I mean, if we look at the MACD, you can see MACD hasn't even leveled out. The MACD line still in a downward momentum. We have a lot of work to do. Bitcoin has a lot of work to do. So, dude, this time, I gotta... You're killing me, Luff. Luff Bassin? Had this little box Sarah gave me. I thought it was appropriate. Dude, you're really killing me with that. Take that sweet wife of yours out for dinner. At least this will buy some fries. Dude, I can't wait to tell Sarah that. You are amazing, man. Thank you so much. That means a ton. It means a ton to me. And I feel like that's so unnecessary. I wish you would have bought some crypto with that. But we will. We'll go out. We'll toast to Luff Bassin. Benjamin 7. $4.99 super chat. The whole Fed mess and Wall Street going into correction is going to make people think about crypto, but as a community, we need to spread the word. Benjamin, dude, thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. I really do. I always see your name in the comments, and you're the man. I appreciate it. But I completely agree. Everything happening right now with the FUD mess, Wall Street going into correction, it's adding an incredibly weird element to the crypto space. And you ended it perfectly by saying, as a community, we just spread the word. And I want to further add to that, Benjamin, which is to say, not only do we need to spread the word, keep doing our thing, but we need to stick together, right? The community, if crypto versus crypto gets a little bit too divisive sometimes. And I don't think that needs to happen. Like, cryptocurrency space really needs it's so small. It feels big when you're watching these videos every day, and I'm doing videos every day, and I'm working with crypto startups every day. I literally live cryptocurrency. But we're talking, it is so small. It is so, we're little nobodies in this world, in this crypto world. Oh man, dude. It happened. I saw it pop up on the screen. I saw it. This is unbelievable. And we're in a bear market. You guys. I think that's the new thing right here. I think that's the new thing. Poseidon Lou. Dude. I love you, man. So unnecessary, bro. I can't wait to have you and the family over. I can't wait to have you out here. I'm going to spoil you. I'm going to spoil you so much, bro. John Kim, Litecoin official. Actually, Poseidon Lou, you should come out when John King comes out. We can all hang out. John Kim can be our bodyguard. We'll steal him away from Charlie. Man, dude. You super chatters, I'm at a loss for words. Me and Sarah we'll go out. We'll go out. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. And listen to Benjamin 7, everybody, please. Spread the word, right? Just get involved. We have a lot going on in this world. Cryptocurrency is going to be threatened. It is a threat, and people will be threatening it. So get ready. John Kim is here. John Kim, I think we'll have a live. So just anybody that's here, I'm going to end this live stream soon, but John Kim, David Schwartz, and eCurrency Hodler will be on a live stream. I don't know if we confirmed it exactly yet, but probably Thursday of this upcoming week. So stay tuned for that. I'll try and create the event once it's set. But yes, it's going to be a good live stream. It's going to be a good live stream. Apparently, they have some, John Kim has some cool things to talk about. Of course he does. He's John Kim. He's always got some good things to talk about. I'm sure he'll be doing some jump rope and boxing on the live stream as well. And in between, he'll be cooking and cutting up some onions, because that's what John Kim does. All right, everybody. Poseidon Lou, you need a vacation this summer. This summer, you guys come out. You come out this summer. Everybody, I appreciate you. I know it's Saturday. It's a weird time for a live stream, but it was fun, and you guys are awesome. Super chatters, again, I'm so grateful. I'm so stinking grateful. Just that you would show that support in the way that you do. It means a lot. I love you all. Subscribers, I love you. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I really would like to have you as part of the channel. I really like sharing my content. I like learning from all of you as well. So if you're here and you're like, I don't know, this dude's weird, hit the subscribe button anyway. Maybe I'll grow on you. So I appreciate all of you. As always, I will definitely see you in the next video. Have an awesome night, and God bless.